What's up, everybody? I'm picking off where I left off at. I was talking about rent control, um, apartments, studios, housing. Uh, I think because um, we don't have rent control, where these real estate people and these agencies and these management and landlords are able to get away with they're able to get away with. Now, what I was talking about is I'm trying to look for a place to move out at. Um, for some people, they have great experience. If you have a disability, you are, you know, white, you are female, you have drug problems, you have drinking problems, some type of problem, this is where you can be accepted. But if you're somebody like me that don't know their way around all of this, um, because these things are not offered to you. These things I'm hearing about through family members. I'm not going to give anybody's name, like the Boston Housing Authority. I know about Boston um, Housing Authority, Metro Housing. There's so many other in affordable housing. All these things that I'm just now hearing about. Mind you, I only got so long to be at where I'm at now. Some people say reach out to family, reach out to this person. I had one person that said that they would be there and they wasn't. And I understand the circumstances, you know, I wanted to have your own space because me personally, I want my own space. I really don't want to live with any roommates. But what people don't understand, the cost of living in Boston is very high. Both of my jobs are in Boston, so it would be pretty stupid for me to go all the way out somewhere and mind you, I don't drive. So it makes it even if I drove, the situation would be a little different. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, maybe you should be driving. You're absolutely right. But the reality is I don't, so I gotta do what works for me. And it's not like it's easier out there. Yes, you'll find some places that are cheaper, but this is what they got to stop doing. All these damn fees. You got the fucking application fee. You got the first and last month's rent that you have to pay up front. And then they got a fee for this, they got a fee for that. Why can't it just be like, okay, you're moving in, we'll fill out a little basic application. I'm getting to the credit report shit too, because I don't understand that. Why the fuck you have to get a credit report in order to get a place to fucking live, which makes no fucking sense to me. If you have the money, that's all that should really matter. It shouldn't matter what your fucking credit score looks like. That doesn't. What the fuck does that determine? Like, this is some bullshit. Like, this is why when we get the rent control, a lot of this shit needs to be eliminated when it's time for y'all to vote, because a lot of y'all don't think that y'all are affected by it because some of y'all got the funds, and the ones that don't go their ass out and vote. This is the shit we get caught up in. And you're always running your fucking mouth, but ain't saying shit. And y'all probably might say the same shit about me, but I'm actually saying this to people that will probably understand what I'm saying. That deal with the fact that I can't afford 2,000. I can't afford 4,000. You know what I mean? If you're not making that kind of money and these places are asking you for that up front, it's like they're trying to, they're really playing you. They're really playing you with this shit. And some people are like, well, why don't you just see if one of your cousins, or see if somebody like that will be a roommate with you? Me personally, I'm down with that because I know it's not easy trying to keep up with this shit on your own. Now, I lived in this place by myself. But I didn't ask anybody for money. I kept up with it, and I'm still keeping up with it now. I don't want to play. I don't want to pay this place another cent because it's because of them why I have to leave. Because they want to raise the rent $200 more, you know, and some change. Now, supposedly you get your deposit money back once you leave, and they need an address. But what the fuck address am I gonna go to if I can't fucking find a place? Like, everybody think they have the solution to the problem, but everybody's situation is different. I'll say that again. Everybody thinks they have a solution to the problem, but everybody's situation is different. So my credit is not bad, but I need to build more credit. Okay, so they said go get a credit card or whatever. So I don't know if I'm filling out the right amount that they want to. They want to see what is your annual income, and then you got to write that down, which we all know. If it's not what they want it to be, now 1 minute I get accepted for it, and then 1 minute I don't. And then some people are saying, "What's wrong with your credit score?" There's nothing wrong with it. Some people say, "Well, why don't you get filings, or why don't you go to Sears and get a credit, why don't you sign up for them and get a card with them?" But then that's a pain. You know what I mean? So I personally don't know what steps to take. I mean, I don't walk around here thinking that I know everything. I knew that it took so much for me to even get this place. And I personally think it's not worth what they want to charge. I think it's a decent place to start off with. I've been married and whatever, so forth. I've been so forth. But now I'm on my own. I'm on my own. I'm living on my own. So, being that I'm living on my own, I got to be able to keep up with that. You got rent, you got bills, you have other responsibility. Then you got to eat. Clothes on my back, I'm all set with that. I got stuff that I bought years ago that still fit me. I'm not trying to impress nobody, so I'm not worried about that. I buy clothes, brand new clothes here and there, but that's not important to me right now because I'm all set with that. And then you got stupid people that want you to throw away your stuff. Well, you need to throw that away. Again, you're not in my situation. And I work hard for these things, so I'm not gonna just throw it away. If it doesn't fit me, then I understand. I'll get rid of it. But no, I'm not just gonna throw something away just to throw it away and then turn around and have nothing. I don't want to be in the street. I've never had to deal with that situation. Thank God for certain family members where I didn't have to let you get back on your feet. And even in this situation, you know who you are, where you helped me in this situation because you know that I could handle it by myself. You just needed to help me get my feet in the door. And from there, I never had to ask you for nothing else. That's why people can come to you when it's time to be a whatever. And I'm not saying their names either. So I thank the people that helped me out in that situation. But I didn't ask them for a cent. So if they gave something, if they just gave their name or approval, I thank them for that because it got me in the door. Now, the same people that are behind me on doing that are waiting for me. But the thing is, it's tougher now because these people are not letting in. They're money hungry. They're money hungry, and it pisses me off because I know that I can pay the rent. I know that I can pay $500. I know that I can pay $600. I know that I can pay $800, $900, $1,000 because I'm working. But when we start talking about $4,000, when we're talking $5,000, that's a little too much for an apartment or a place that I'm temporarily staying at. I might as well buy a house, right? But that is not easy for one person to have on their own, unless they're really making serious figures, unless they're really bringing home some serious money. Now, again, I said I do all right, but I'm not making that kind of money. If I was making that kind of money, this would be a different conversation. But I'm not though. So therefore, and then some people say you're giving too much of your information, you're putting too much on YouTube. Nobody needs to know your business. Half of the people that's probably going to hear this are probably going through this and worse. And if you're not, shout out to you. But if you are, then you understand what I'm saying. Most of you have help. That's why you're not in my situation. It's just me. That's it. It's just me right now that is dealing with what I'm dealing with. And I'm not just going to just settle for anything like I heard somebody say to me recently. Some people give the worst advice. Some people always got a negative. So I got it. That's a whole nother story for another time. I want to talk about that another time. But I'm not just going to settle for anything. And I hear him about finding somebody. I tried that. It didn't work. You know, when my brother tried to get me to be roommates with somebody and he just had a negative attitude. He didn't understand that I was willing to do that because what do I have to lose? I'm not trying to run anywhere. I'm trying to settle down. So I would have been there for the long term, as long as it took, especially if the place was nice. I wasn't about to go nowhere. And anybody else that had a problem with it, too bad. But he fucked up. He was fucked up. And I could not do business with that guy because he had a negative attitude. Now, had he had the right attitude, then I probably would have been a roommate with him. He'd never see me because I'm a workaholic. You know, at one point I was trying to do 3 jobs, you know, because you got to do that. My kids are grown. They're working. They're doing their thing. Shout out to my kids. They got their own place, but their circumstances are different than mine. So some people might say, oh, why is it that your kids got a place, but you don't? Because their situation is different. And I'm not going to talk about their business. I'm not putting their business on here, but I'm just saying their situation is different. I will do what I have to do in order for me. The deadline is coming. I got 1 more month to get this shit together. 1 more month. So I know there's a lot of homeless people out here. One guy just came up on me and said he just got out of jail for 10 years. He needed food. And I'm like, damn. I told him I don't have it because I didn't have it on me at the moment. But where I'm working now, I could have helped him, and I beat myself up, and I hope that I run into him again and that I can get him in the right place. See, I can get him a place, but I can't get me a place. And I want to sit and talk to those people because maybe I might be giving myself an opportunity. You know, sometimes you got to swallow your pride. Some people don't like my family, it's very private. And so am I. But these things, a lot of us are going through. A lot of us are going through this right now. It's hard times for a lot of us. You know, all of us are not superstars. All of us are not millionaires. All of us are not rich. There's some of us that work a 9 to 5, living paycheck to paycheck, you know, putting our hard-earned money. And I said it earlier. I said it in the other video I did that sometime I'll put my whole rent will take up my whole paycheck. Sometime I got to take from this and take from that. You know, rob from Peter to steal from Peter to rob, whatever. However my mother used to say that. Rob Peter to pay Paul. I had to do that with my own money. in order for me to keep up with it. So I don't want to go through that struggle of doing that. I just want something where, look, it's just me. You know what I'm saying? So why do I have to pay so much money? I think, me personally, I think if I was a landlord and my tenants, when they say they go by your income, if they actually really went by your income, because after they do some fucked up shit and they think they're slick. They say they go by your income, but then, like I said, they start bringing up that fee shit. You gotta fill out this application. It's a fee for that. That's $150 or $60 or whatever the fuck they want to charge you for a fucking application. Then they want to charge you for a deposit, which is a lot. Then they expect you to pay for the rent. And then they say, wait, we want you to pay first and last months. That's not fucking cheap. That will lead up to $2,000 to $4,000. If you're already telling them you're struggling, it's like it goes out one ear and the other. I said it goes over their head, but on the other video, but it goes out one ear and the other because they don't hear you. All they see is money. I want money. I want money from you. I'm not listening to a damn thing you're saying. If you can't pay this money, then you got to go elsewhere. Elsewhere might be in the streets. But do you give a damn? Do you give a damn? I don't personally think they do. And they talk about, oh, I wish you luck. I wish you. You don't fucking wish me luck. They had a nerve. Listen, I went through this struggle with them, and maybe I might have pushed it. They said, we're going to go down $100 once I realized they were raising my rent up again another year. And I said, no. They said, let us know what we can do to help. That was bullshit. They just wanted to say it just to say it. Some people talk just to talk, right? But anyways, we're going to go down $100, 100 and whatever. And I said, no, that's not enough. It's not enough because I'm already fucking struggling now, because every time I turned around, I've been here about 3 years, right? It done went up $200 more. When I first came here, it was a decent price. I was like, oh, I can pay that. But they hit my ass up with first and last months. By the grace of God and people that helped out with that, I was able to pay that. With my money and some of their money. I'm going to be real with it. Because there's nowhere in hell I would have been able to pay that. So I'm not doing that this time. People got their own responsibility. And mind you, the rest of the time, they didn't have to come to, I didn't have to come to them for nothing. It was just that. That part right there fucks everybody up. Well, some of us, because I know some of y'all got it like that. But guess what? I don't got it like that. And I work 2 fucking jobs, a part-time and a full-time. At one point, I was working almost 2 full-time jobs. Because even though they say this is a part-time job, the hours and time that I was putting into this fucking job. Some people said, when do you have time to sleep? I say sleep is for the dead. And being that I don't plan to go anywhere, and by the grace of God, I don't go anywhere, I don't have time to rest like that. I get a little bit of cat nap, a little bit of sleep. Sometimes on my day off, I sleep well. But even on my days off, I still got to go in at night. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes I'll work during the day and then I can go home or go to this place that I'm at for the time being. And then I know this video is longer, and I'm hoping I will be able to put this out. But I know that there's other people out there struggling. And we really got to push these laws. Now, the shit that Biden's talking about, gun control and all that stuff, and the environment and all that, and should be talking about the economy, affordable houses, really affordable houses. Okay, because, they are trying to help the homeless here. But there's some homeless people that don't want to help themselves. I'll say it again. There's some homeless people that don't, because they have drinking problems or drug problems, and that new drug that's out there that's taking people's lives. Meanwhile, you got people shooting people up just because, and I don't want to hear it's mental health. You don't like your life, so you want to shoot up innocent people. But I know I'm supposed to be just focusing on that, but I have to talk about that too. A lot of people are dealing with depression. I'm dealing with a form of depression, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to go around shooting people, because I believe in God. I believe that my life will be better. I pray that I'm not out there in the street. But we got to remember, Tyler Perry, and that's his story, not my story. He was homeless at one point. He paid all this money for a play. Nobody showed up, and now he's like a billionaire. That's his story. Same thing with Steve Harvey. He was once homeless. A couple other people that you may know as entertainers were homeless. Kelly Price was homeless. A lot of other people. And they got back on their feet, or whatever the case is. I hope that my story will be successful like that. And I heard a lot of other people's story recently, rappers, whatever, people from Boston that made it from nothing, and now it turned that to something. But this rent control really needs to happen, because these landlords and these companies and these real estate people would not be able to get away with what they're getting away with. They're robbing people. They're playing people. I am not going to pay for something that I know I can't afford. I'll say it again. I'm not paying for something that I know I can't afford. People are mad. Oh, you're very picky. Are you going to give me that money to get what I need? Because I'm not putting myself in a situation where I'm not going to be able to afford something. I'm struggling with this. And during this time, I didn't have my new job that I got now. I got to wait for that to do what it does. And then I can look at situations a little differently. But to family members, to whoever that get frustrated with me and I get frustrated with them, you got to understand, I know what I have to work with. When you know what you got to work with, you're going to do what you have to do, and maybe other people can't understand that. That's fine. You don't have to. This is my life. If you want to help me, help me. But if you're either you're with me or you're against me, and this is not easy for me. It's not easy for me. My family doesn't even really know what I'm going through. They really don't know, because I try to tell them, and it's we'll try to help you, we'll try to look at this. It's like time is ticking. Time is ticking. Okay? Time is ticking. So if I have to do what I got to do. And when I call you for certain things, it's for a reason. I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need your help for whatever it is. Finding a place to stay. I'm responsible for that, but I wouldn't mind being stirred in the right place and actually making things happen. I don't want to keep going around the circles and just texting and texting and texting. And then before you know it, boom, that day is there. The deadline's there. I got to get out of these people's place. Because then legal action will be taken. And I don't want to deal with that. I don't want police coming in my face. I don't want none of that. I want to leave on good terms. I want to clean, do what I do when I leave somewhere. Clean those people's place up and get the hell out of there. Or get my stuff out, or do what I got to do. But I got to do what I got to do, because I can't let this affect my jobs, because it affects my incomes, then that's a big problem. That's a big problem. That's a big problem. Then it's hard. Then I won't be able to do what I need to do. You know, there's places for homeless people. Like I said, I may not qualify for that because I work 2 jobs. But if you don't have a place, what are you? You're homeless. So people don't really look at it that way. They look at people in the street. But if you don't have a home, you're homeless. You know? You're living paycheck to paycheck. Anything could happen. People can fire you. People don't realize how serious this is. That's why you got some people, they get fired. They go on a rampage, or they go postal and they start shooting up places. I don't want to do none of that. I just want to live comfortably. I just want to live in a nice apartment or live in a nice townhouse or house or whatever. In the meantime, I need to find something decent, that's comfortable for me, that's not going to be too expensive, but something I can afford, and they'll be happy and I'll be happy, and that's it right now. And then I can focus on other things that I need to focus on, because right now that this is something that's worrying me. And yes, some people say, well, if you keep your faith in God, you keep your faith in God. But like I said, I don't trust them. I trust God. I know God will put me in a better situation. When those other doors close, other doors will open. I do know that. I do believe in God. But I also believe in the devil, because he's also real too. And this is the time where he will try to discourage me. And there's people that come at you that you think have your best interests, and they come, like I said, like one guy, every time I talk to him, we're supposed to be cool, but he just has a negative. He doesn't really never say anything positive. I'm like, damn, man, like, why can't you say something positive? You know what I'm saying? Well, won't you, even when he's trying to give me advice, it's just like, I don't like the way he comes off. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on, man. Like, I'm doing the best I can, man. I'm doing the best I can. There's only so much you can ask people. Some people have this aggressive approach, and how you have to be stern, and you gotta listen. That doesn't work for everybody, man. If people are not interested, they're just not interested in what you're trying to say or what you want to do. So it's like, I'll go another route. I won't give up, but I'll go another route. I can't bother with those people because they do not want me to succeed. They are the ones that will try to discourage you. And I can't have that. I can't be out in the street. Like, what kind of man will I be if I'm out in the street? I work so hard. Why am I even in this situation that I'm in? You know what they say? They say, you didn't plan to fail. You failed to plan. And I can get into my personal stuff. That's why the reason why I'm doing everything by myself, why I really do things by myself, because I try to work with other people, being in relationships or whatever. And at the end of the day, when you break up or whatever, you have to go your separate way. So when they're winning, I'm losing most of the times. I'm losing because then I got to find something for me. I got to find space for me. I got to find something for me while they got their place. They moved on, literally moved on, while I'm trying to put my pieces together. So financially, not just mentally, but financially, it messes you up because you don't have anything with that person as far as property or nothing. Well, I don't. So I'm back where I started. I can't move in with family or nothing like that. Everybody has their own space. I don't want to be a burden to nobody. So that's why it's like, I got to do this on my own. If you want to help me, fine. But I don't, you got space, whatever. I ain't going to be there forever. It's temporary. But there's nobody saying, hey, come to my place. Come to my place. All you got to do is pay this amount, that amount. Nobody's saying that. And the person that did promise me that, he backed out. But I'm not surprised. That's what he does with a lot of stuff. He can be there for you 1 minute, and then the other minute he pussies. And I understand where he's coming from. So I was mad at him for a brief second, and I'm not really mad at him for that, because he don't got the space. He got some. I don't want to be in that. I don't want to be in the way. I don't want to be nobody's burden. And the distance. That's why I want to be somewhere where I'm gonna be. So it's easier. Like right now, it's easy for me to get to where I need to get from. And yes, we got to make sacrifices. I know about sacrifices. Trust me. If the situation looks right, I'll go with that. I'll go with whatever it is. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. So I'll say this to the other people out there that may be going through similar situations or the same or whatever it is you're going through. Don't give up. Pray for me and I'll pray for you, because I definitely need prayer. Nobody's too good to pray or to be prayed for. I need prayer. I need prayer. This is what's going to get me through this, because God hears that. I believe in God, like I said. And I'm going to end it on this, because I probably took up so much space, and I want y'all to hear this video. I'm an open book. I don't really care. People can judge me off of this video if you want. That's your choice. I'm just a regular person, just trying to make it, just like you trying to make it. I'm not rich. I'm not poor, but I am struggling, because everything is the way it is, and it's unfortunate, but this is what it is, man. I'm almost 50 years old, man, and I felt that I should have more to show for it, because I've been working practically half my life. But like I said, man, y'all pray for me. I'll pray for you. I'm out, and wish me well, man. For real, wish me well. Some people say it gets greater later. I hope it gets greater right now. One.